Hey everybody, what is up? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What I want to go over today is, for a new player, is Entropia worth getting into? Is it worth playing? This game's been around for over 10 years, and there's been a lot of missed opportunities if you're just getting into the game now. For instance, where I am right now, Treasure Island, sold for $25,000 back in the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s. Now, it's worth a lot more. We're talking hundreds of thousands. Not just 25. So, is it worth getting into? Is the game dying? I've made videos on it, is the game dying? But if you're new, right, that's not the same thing as if this game is worth getting into. So, first off, I'm just going to tell you my opinion. Those of you who disagree, you can listen to my points and counter them in the comments below. I'm always open to a discussion. I'm always open to talking about it. In my opinion, the game is worth getting into. It's not new, right? But this game works a little bit differently. So let me show you these skills, okay? I've been playing for a while, and the way skills work is the longer you play, the harder it is to get skills. Now, recently, Mindark has sort of kicked that barrier down, which means for new players, you're starting a lot better off than me when I started. For every dollar that you put in, you're getting a lot farther than every dollar that I put into it. And we're talking about real cash economies here. So dollars actually have a value, right? This PED balance is worth $14. So back in the day, if I spent 141 PEDs, it went a lot. It didn't go as far as it does now. So if you're a new player, you've got the benefit of being able to get skills easier than older players who've been playing longer, right? I might outskill you now, but because I'm not playing as much as I used to, I don't have that new player, sort of I don't know how to describe it, but when you first get used to a game, when you first start playing a game, you're going to play a ton of it, and then you sort of get bored, you sort of die off, you don't play as much, right? This happened with me in Entropia Universe. When I started playing, when I had that push where I want to play every day, I really love the game, I wasn't getting as much per dollar as you new players can get, right? So if you're a depositor, that's huge. If you're willing to put $5, $10 a month into this game to play it, you're better off than I was, okay? So I think it's worth starting now because you're starting at a better point. It's a lot easier to get into the game. There's a lot more new players, sort of introductory areas, if you will. For instance, let's go to one of them right now. Or the big one. Not that one. Where is it? Here we go. I think this is a... Nope. Oh, sorry about this. I don't know my TP. Oh, Camp Icarus, right? So this is where all the new players go. This is where they start. When I started, it was Port Atlantis, and there wasn't really all that much out there for new players. It wasn't as easy to get started. There's a lot more resources out there now. There's a lot more guides. Mindark, the company who makes Entropia Universe, is a lot nicer to you guys, right? So it's easier now to get started than ever before. The cost of investment as far as what it takes to play is a lot less because there's L weapons. I mean, look at this. There's a huge community. So if you ask me, Entropia Universe is definitely worth getting started and playing. You're not going to be as high level as some of the players who started right when the game began. Those are the top of the top. You can't beat them. Someone like me, though, who might have been playing for 10 years on and off, you can easily catch up and even outshine me if you put in a little bit of money and a lot of time. And if you enjoy the game, you're going to put in that time, right? This isn't like World of Warcraft either, right? You can join a society. You can hunt with every level of player. You can look back at my videos. I've done team hunts. And in those team hunts, I'm maybe one of the more experienced players there. I mean, there are players who out-leveled me in that, but there's players who are way new. There's people who just started a few days ago, and they're still hunting with the team. They're still playing with the team. They're still contributing. So this isn't a game where you're left out if you can't tank, or you're left out if you can't shoot. Everybody is invited to play. Everybody's invited to hunt. Everybody is open to playing with new players. This doesn't have that sort of World of Warcraft mentality where the player's got to be X level, they've got to play so much and all that. There are societies like that, but you can find a lot of really good societies that aren't. So yeah, I think now's a better time than ever. You've got planets to visit, right? Look at this map. I'm going to pull this out. I mean, we're going to look at all these opportunities you guys have. You've got all these planets to visit. You've got all this stuff to explore. You have vehicles, right? So you're no longer getting stuck in places because you're surrounded by hard mobs and you can't get out of an area, right? You can just buy a ship, spawn it, and you're away. The game is more team-centric, and it's better than ever. And I say now is as good of a time as any to start. Unless you were one of the originals and you're making bank, and that was the time to start. But now's a pretty good time. There aren't that many investment opportunities out there that weren't out there before. Deeds and stuff like that have gone up in value. So if you're looking to get in and invest, maybe it is a little bit too late for you, right? But otherwise, if you're just looking for a game to play, I'd say join up. The game's free to download, free to get started, and they give you a starter pack. So worst case scenario, you get done with that and you don't play anymore. But if you're worried about being up to skill or having to catch up with players who've been playing for 10 years, don't worry about it. You're better off than ever before, and levels don't matter that much in this game. They really don't, except if you're with one of the elite societies. I keep saying that just so like people don't come back in the video and say, well, I tried to join this society and they wouldn't let me, because no, some societies do care about skills. Most, though, don't. So, yeah, I say get to it. Download the game, join it, see if you like it, and hopefully I'll see you around. Hope you guys like the video, and until next time, peace.